Hello everyone, my name is Mandy and today we are actually going to be discussing a topic. This video is going to be a video response for Rincey of Rincey Reads video that she made discussing the topic of what high schoolers read in, of course, high school. Now, some of you may already know I am in high school and I just finished my last final today and this is my last week of school and I'm thrilled because of that. But besides the fact, because I'm in high school, I know what kids currently are reading or are being forced to read in high school, and then I know what they read on the side for enjoyment. Now, of course, schools make you read classics. You have to read The Scarlet Letter, Of Mice and Men, The Great Gatsby, and of course Shakespeare. How can we forget him? But a lot of people, myself included, don't always enjoy reading that. Now, I can pick up a classic sometimes and enjoy it. One of my favorites is Of Mice and Men. I also own a copy of Wuthering Heights. I actually own 2 copies. The first copy was this big and the print was microscopic, so I decided not to read it about 50 pages in because it was giving me a headache. Then I ordered a new copy. It was about the size of a Bible and the print was still microscopic. But the point is, some classics people enjoy, some classics people don't. And for the most part in high school, people don't enjoy it. But there's a reason for that. It's not because the writing's bad, and it's not because the story's boring. The writing is fabulous. That's why it's called a classic. A classic is just cannot be compared to today's books because it's not that the writing's bad, it's just that they use the old English and it's kind of graceful in a sense. But people hate doing these books in high school because you're always forced to analyze so much. Take The Great Gatsby, for example. I read the book and we spent months working on it and analyzing it. I ended up writing a 5-page research paper on it. The book is good. It's not one of my favorites. It was okay. I can see why it's a classic, but I'm not in love with it like everyone else. I love the movie because it's very visual. It's so vivid and the colors are just beautiful, and if you haven't seen the movie, you have to see it yourself because you'll probably like it. But like I said, I had to analyze this book so much that it went from being okay to just being plain boring to work on, and I just kept analyzing the same thing, the relationship between Gatsby and Daisy, the relationship between Tom and Daisy, and Tom and Myrtle, and I practically pretty much have it memorized now. For the fact that you have to analyze so much, kids don't enjoy reading. They just assume all books are like that, and then they don't even touch the young adult books. The genre young adult is called young adult because it is written for young adults. It's written for teenagers, but you don't read that in high school. People don't find the books that will really connect with them. One thing I loved about my school is that when the Hunger Games movie was about to come out, we actually read the Hunger Games in class, and the assignment was to read the first 3 chapters for homework. And what did people do? They read more than that. They came into school and they had read practically half the book in just one night. And that goes to show if the kids enjoy the book, they'll not only pay more attention, but they'll go ahead, do the work, and more. Usually people don't even read the book, but this time they read even more because they enjoyed it. It seems like school these days are getting a little better at that. Mine is actually doing an all-school read where everybody in the school, including faculty, are going to be reading the book Unwind by Neal Shusterman, and I am a huge fan of his. I read his Skinjacker trilogy and I absolutely loved it, and I fell in love with the ending, and I was one of those people who was on the verge of crying at the ending. But the point is, he's an amazing author and he writes young adult, and now everybody in the school is going to be reading that. And people will be able to discover that book and realize, hey, not all books are boring. That's how I was. Up until junior high, I hated reading. Then my friend gave me one of the Twilight books, and she was like, here, you have to read this. And you know what? I fell in love with it. I read that book in a week, and if you know Twilight, Twilight's a pretty thick book, and I went from reading maybe 20 pages a day to being able to read 100 pages a day. And I know some young adult isn't well written, and people criticize Twilight for that, but it's a gateway book. Books like young adult books are gateways to other more magnificent things. I can now read classic books and see why they are so good, why other people appreciate them. I can see, wow, this is really amazing writing, even if I don't fall in love with the story or the characters. So that's my 2 cents on the subject, and I hope I didn't babble too much for you guys. But if you have any opinions, comment below, tell me. You can leave a video response if you'd like. I'll also link the original video. This is a video response too, so you can watch it yourself and see what she has to say on the subject. But thank you for watching, and don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe.